Seahawks Today coming up in just a few moments. Before we do, want to tell you what's coming up on today's show, as we will be breaking down Jalen Carter's visit to Seattle. What you need to know as he's set to meet with Pete Carroll and John Schneider. Also, should the Seahawks consider drafting Bijan Robinson? We'll go over some analysis and tell you about a player that Bijan compares to of a former Seahawk in just a bit. Before we do, got to have you subscribe to our brand new NFL Draft channel. Not only are we talking about the Seattle Seahawks over there and their draft situation, but all 32 teams across the National Football League. And we're doing team-specific mock drafts over there. We also have exclusive interviews, analysis you're not going to find anywhere else. So Seahawk fans, here's what I need you to do. Head over to our draft channel. Subscribe now for free today, right in time for the draft at youtube.com/chatNFL, and we'll get started with today's show. Seahawks Today is presented by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com and use the promo code Seahawks for 20% off plus free shipping. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Let's get started right away with Jalen Carter, making his visit to Seattle to meet with Pete Carroll and John Schneider coming up on Tuesday. And what's very fascinating about this meeting is it comes at a time with the draft just in a few weeks, and the Seahawks needing to figure out if they're all in on Jalen Carter or not. And according to reports that we're going to show you here in just a second from Peter King of NBC Sports, there's already some teams that have said we're done with Jalen Carter and others that say he's on our board. Seattle is going to find out one way or the other here, I think, a decision whether they want to proceed and potentially draft Jalen Carter or not. They should get the answers they're looking for to their questions with this meeting and come to a resolution of some sorts within the next couple of days, I would think. Here's more from Peter King on this situation. Most draft boards are not finalized. Keep in mind that most teams have their rankings done in pencil now, not pen, with the ability to change the order by position and overall. That's an important thing to realize as we go down the home stretch. For instance, Georgia defensive tackle Jalen Carter is due to visit two teams in the top 7, Seattle at 5 and Las Vegas at 7 in the coming days. How can Vegas GM Dave Ziegler and Seattle GM John Schneider finish their evaluation of Carter before sitting down with him at length? They can't. So if you hear Carter's out in Seattle, for instance, it's just not feasible. So between now and then, before this meeting, if you hear those words, basically what Peter's saying is it's not true. Give it time. Let's circle back to this when the meeting happens, after the meeting happens. The latest on Jalen Carter, misdemeanor charges resulting in a plea agreement. And a very important note with Jalen Carter, he will not face jail time. That was part of the plea agreement, so he would be available right away with no problems there. Now, he did have some poor reviews at his pro day, and he only wanted to meet with teams that were picking inside the top 10, on top of having a poor performance there. And so that didn't go over so well with teams that were evaluating him at the Pro Bowl. And according to Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated, like we were talking about, a couple teams already have said, no, we're not drafting Jalen Carter. He is off the board altogether. So with that, before the Seahawks have their meeting, where do you stand on the Seahawks and Jalen Carter? What do you think about him at 5 overall? Where things stand right now, do you like the idea of the Seahawks drafting Jalen Carter? This is our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. Let me know one way or the other. Y for yes, N for no. Should Seattle draft Jalen Carter at 5 overall or not? Let me know. Y for yes, N for no. Next up, Bijan Robinson, the star running back out of the University of Texas, the best pro prospect we've seen at the position probably since Saquon Barkley. What about the possibility of drafting him? Now, not with the number 5 pick, but whether it's at 20 or maybe even trading up from 20 to another selection. Seaside Joe, who does a really good job on Substack covering the Seahawks. I highly encourage you to go check out some of the stuff he does. Seaside Joe goes really in depth when it comes to talking about the Seahawks and going through the analytics and the data and everything. not a free advertisement, but just a lot of respect for Seaside Joe and the coverage that he's doing there. And he went through this very long, drawn-out piece of the case to be made for why the Seahawks should consider drafting Bijan Robinson. And I want to pick up a little bit of it and then show you a comparison that Seaside Joe made to a very famous Seahawks running back here in just a second. Let's start with this from Seaside Joe. If Pete Carroll has two starting running backs in 2023, he has two players who can be fresh in December and January. To Pete Carroll, that matters. And that's a very good point. I mean, think about this. We have seen a lot of injuries at the running back position in the last couple of seasons, from Chris Carson to Rashad Penny to even Kenneth Walker last year. DJ Dallas, Travis Homer, those guys were all banged up at one point in time. And so not only are you talking about a potential generational talent in Bijan Robinson, but if history tells us anything, the Seahawks need multiple options at the running back position. Now, I understand if you don't want to draft Bijan at number 5 overall. Totally get that. But I'm not going to sit here and be pissed and be mad if they draft him at 20 or even potentially trading up from there. 5, I understand, but 20, sometimes you have to think about the best player available. And we've seen the Seahawks at times, even case in point, go back to last year, when they said, you know what, this guy is too good, we can't pass up on him, we got to go best available here. And in the case of Bijan, if it's that where you say to yourselves, we know we have other needs to take care of that need to be addressed, but this guy is too good to just let walk away like that, as far as that goes. I have the comparison in just a moment, and I'm going to tell you, folks, you're going to be pretty amazed of this player that he's compared to in just a second. Before we do, let's ask you this. Should Seattle draft Bijan Robinson? What do you think about that possibility of Bijan Robinson joining the Seattle Seahawks? Make it real simple for you. Type D for draft, type P for pass. Let me know what you're thinking in the comment section. D for draft, P for pass, if you think the Seahawks should draft Bijan Robinson or not. Gentlemen, if you didn't already know, it's tax season here in the U.S., and you know what that means. It means that Manscaped is here to make sure your paperwork is done and your boys downstairs are having fun. Make sure you spend your tax return money on the important things this year, like your family, friends, and ball deodorant. Join the 8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with code Seahawks. So, here is what we are offering this go-round, folks. We got the Performance Package 4.0. It's the ultimate bundle you need to reinvent yourself and your confidence. It includes the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. It's the star of the show, offering a precise shave on all of your wildest hedges, equipped with an LED light as well. Also, more exciting news, the Performance Package 4.0 now includes Manscaped's brand new Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer. And we're also talking about skin-safe technology, which is very good, as well as the crop preserver and more. All these products available now with that Beard Hedger Pro Kit also included, containing 9 products plus wet goods. This is everything you need to craft your signature look. So here's what I need you to do. To get 20% off plus free shipping, use the code Seahawks at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code Seahawks at manscaped.com. Don't just get your money back this year. Get your swagger back, too, with Manscaped. That's manscaped.com, promo code Seahawks for 20% off plus free shipping for more today. All right, oddly enough, this is not blasphemy here, folks. I know that when you mention this guy, that it should get you a little excited. But oddly enough, there are some very interesting similarities between Bijan Robinson and Marshawn Lynch. And they're pretty wild when we go over these numbers. Here's what I want to do. Let's look at the numbers of both guys when they were entering the draft. Marshawn Lynch in 2007 when he originally went to the Buffalo Bills. And Bijan Robinson here in 2023. Height, same. Both backs at 5'11". Weight, same. 215. But it doesn't stop there. 40 time, 4.46. Vertical jump, a little bit better for Bijan, 37 compared to 35.5 for Marshawn Lynch. Broad jump, a little bit better for Marshawn at 125 compared to 124 for Bijan. But how about that? I mean, when it comes to their speed and their size and the athleticism, Bijan looks like a carbon copy of Beast Mode, which is just crazy. The statistics from Bijan Robinson, I got to tell you, this guy is something special. In 2021, had a really good year with over 1,100 rushing yards, 15 touchdowns. But the encore in 2022 was even better than that, with nearly 1,600 yards, 20 touchdowns. He was also a good receiver as well. Bijan is that dude. So I understand the hesitation that comes with the idea of drafting a running back in the first round and all that. But don't rule out this possibility of Seattle potentially looking at Bijan for that second first-round pick because he's just that good. Before we go, put your GM hat on. Name a player Seattle should draft. We talked about a couple of them today. Jalen Carter, Bijan Robinson, just to name a few. Who else comes to mind? Whether it's one of those two guys we talked about or somebody else, let me know in the comment section. Name a player you'd like to see Seattle draft. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We have you covered with the latest happenings on your favorite team. We are on a race to get to 37,000 subscribers here on the channel. We're trying to get to 37,000 for our boy Sean Alexander, another great Seahawks running back. We're about 726 away from getting there. Need your help. Subscribe now for free. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. I'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.